Get out here.
So we on both of these. This one is Facebook. This one is YouTube. So if you just look ahead, it really don't matter which one you look at. I'll probably use this one to upload, for the recording. But while we're live down here and up here. Okay. And then we got a couple minutes. So what I'll do is I'll just start off, saying, hey, we live, blah, blah, blah. And then I will have you all introduce yourselves, and then I'll go into like the interview questions. I'm going to stay in the business portion of things. Like I'll stay in, like, actually, how long you've been in the area, stuff like that. What prompted you? What made you want to start a cigar business? What made you pick your location? Different things like that. Sometimes people will drop questions in. Y'all don't have to answer nothing y'all don't feel comfortable answering. So if it's a question and it comes up, if y'all don't feel comfortable, just say, we'd rather not go into that, and we'll move on to the next question.
Like live questions going to be coming in?
Yeah, if people are tuned in and they want to ask y'all stuff, there'll be a segment where I'll stop talking and I'll take any questions like that from anybody watching. So.
Everything musical, artsy, just the bad cat area.
All right, we are live at the Cigar Lounge in Campbell, Ohio. This is the Unheralded Entrepreneur Podcast. We are live with Mr. Eric and Mrs. Tabranda, owners of the Cigar Lounge. We're just going to give y'all a couple of seconds to pop on here. If we don't have anybody tuned in, then I'll just go ahead and start with my questions. We're just going to give some people a little bit of time to pop in here and see if we can get some interaction. While we're waiting, we are located in Campbell, Ohio. The address to Cigar Vibes is 355 Robinson Road, Campbell, Ohio, 44405. So if you are seeing this and you are on the east side, you are on in Campbell or anywhere near this broadcast and location, pop in, come and see what it's about while we have the owners here. So we're going to just hop on in and get started. So what would you say is your reason for wanting to establish a cigar lounge in this area? If y'all could start here.
Well, to me, it was about the passion. So I have a passion for cigars. I've been smoking them since, I think I had my first cigar in college. Had a bad experience. What I'm saying? It wasn't a great experience. It actually turned me off to it a little bit. But then I met some people who actually taught me the right way to do it. And that's when I got into it. But I'm from Campbell. I went kindergarten, Penn Hill, all the way up to Memorial. In Campbell. So I'm alumni. So I wanted to bring something to the community that wasn't here. So living out here, if I wanted to have a cigar and go sit down and have a cigar, I got to travel 4 miles, something like that. So, it was a need for it in the area, and it was a passion of mine. So why not?
Okay, so when you say you had a bad experience, was it the experience in not properly knowing how to smoke a cigar? Because I know a lot of people that get into cigars, if they're used to smoking like Black and Milds or cigarettes or anything like that, it's the inhaling part of it. So is that what you mean by the bad experience?
Sort of. I never smoked anything, so I didn't smoke Black and Mild cigarettes or anything like that. The cigar was the first thing I picked up. And just not knowing what I was doing. The first cigar I grabbed, I knew a little bit about cigars, so the name Cohiba stood out because I knew what a Cohiba was, and that's the first one I grabbed. And it was a Maduro at that for my first cigar. So it was too strong, too much, too soon, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? And then, even though I didn't inhale, smoke still going down my throat, I didn't know what I was doing. It was all bad. I didn't have as bad experience as some people. I hear some people, throw up and all kind of stuff. I didn't have that bad of an experience, but it was like, all right, I ain't doing that.
Well, my first one was a bad experience. I was smoking Black and Milds, and somebody was like, well, try this. And a strong full flavored cigar and wasn't explained what to do with it. So I tried to hit it like I smoked Black and Mild. And yeah, I was one of those ones choking, throwing up, like, this is horrible. Yeah. That was like 20 years ago. But since he smoked cigars, I love the smell. So now that we opened up shop, well, before we opened up shop, I had started smoking. So I like it, especially knowing what I'm doing, like being taught the right way of smoking a cigar and how to start. Like, 'cause when you're a new beginner, I don't want to smoke what he's smoking and he's been smoking 20 years because it's not going to give you, you're going to be turned off.
Right.
So you want to start like mild, sweet. So it's been pretty good from there. I done came up a little bit, not to his level, but I have came up a little bit on trying different things. And yeah, that's really, really nice.
So what about your connection to the area? Your connection to Campbell?
It's my husband. That's
Okay.
Yeah, we moved out here about 10 years ago. So at first it was like bad feeling for Campbell, like, really what in my take because I'm from Youngstown. But after being out here, they are welcoming and the community is nice. We get a lot of people in this community that like stand by their community. So that's a good thing. We get a lot of support from Campbell. Like we get support from other people. I don't want to take that away from that. But being out here in Campbell, a lot of Campbell people show support.
Okay. All right. So when you all were thinking about where you were going to open up, I know you knew Campbell for sure because you wanted to bring something, like you said, into the area. What made you pick a bank, a former bank? And was there anything behind? Like, was there like a master plan behind picking a bank since it was already there? People were used to that. Is it something on that level of it, or did it just kind of fall that way?
Just being from here, and like I said in another interview, this is like my first bank account I ever had.
Oh, okay.
Bank. When I was a kid, having a little paper on it. But I knew the building was sitting here and nobody was doing anything with it for a long time. So when I thought about location, all right, I'm going to bring it to Campbell. What's a good building, good strong, solid building, whatever. And this, we literally live around the corner. So this passed by this a million times a day. So, I had to do some work. I had to do a little bit of stalking. Track down the owner.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It was up on the market, and then it went down. I had to do some. I had to jump online, do some research.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of stalking. Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question. How much support? Now, I know we're Camo, we're Youngstown and stuff like that. But you were saying you were doing a lot of the research. You were the one trying to find the owner. You were the one, doing all of that. Was there any assistance that you got from any organization within the city of Youngstown or the city of Campbell that kind of helped you out, with the process as far as mapping out, your location and any ideas about how to make a placement or anything? So y'all did everything 100% on that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a process for me. I just go over and over things in my mind until I make my mind up. Talk to her. So, started, I always go to Cigar Lounge. I would go to, Havana House and Niles all the time. I frequented there all the time. Then I started going to the Avalon, and they got a really nice spot. And took her. And we went there a couple times. We would have dinner, and I would go, smoke a stick or so, and have a couple drinks and stuff like that. And I ended up telling her one day, like, I'm thinking about doing one of these for us. And she seen the vibe, and seen the atmosphere, and seen what I was, the vision I was trying to do. And she was like, I think you should do it. So I went to work. I'm doing my research and trying to map stuff out. It took me like 2 years.
2 years.
Business plan. Yeah, I did. I went through everything, fine-tooth comb, all the laws. I needed to know all the ins and outs. I traveled to different cities and went to cigar lounges and sat down with owners. Once you go so far out and they realize you're not competition,
right.
They open up. It's the whole cigar industry. It's all like close-knit family. They'll open up. As long as they'll first make sure you ain't open up in their back door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the time, they're gonna They open up and they tell you everything, give you as much information. So
how long would you say it took them to warm up to you? How long would you say it took them to kind of like know that, like you said, you weren't competition, you just want to bring something to your neighborhood?
as soon as they said,
Where you gonna open
yeah, that would be their first question.
Right. Where you plan on opening
You
that?
the owner? Like, yeah. Well, I'm thinking about opening up a cigar lounge. I just want to sit down and talk to you, get some insight. First question, where? And I tell them like in Campbell, Ohio, and they're like, where's that at? Well, it's a suburb of Youngstown. Oh, it's like 3-4 hours away from here. Yeah. Open right up.
And so your 2 years, and I'm sure you were probably helping along with the research and stuff like that. So when you all's combination of 2 years of putting stuff together, how much would you say, if you could give a percentage to it, and it doesn't have to be exact, but how much of it was educating yourself on the cigar industry versus actual location and stuff like that? Like how much knowledge you feel like you had to give to learning the whole industry first before you open?
I know he already knew a lot about cigars, but that's all I heard. Like, you need to know about cigars. You need to know about cigars. You need to know about this. You need to know about something like that. But that was all I heard. Watch something about cigars. Watch something. So it was learning for me. I mean, because I did need to know, especially being in here, because walking in, I mean, you'll get somebody who know about cigars, but gonna ask me anyway to see if I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they want to kind of feel like at least you ain't just doing this just to be doing it. Right. You have a passion, or you had a love, or you had a knowledge for, for them to support or whatever. So it was just like learning for me, which I still don't know a lot, because it's a lot to do cigars. Like I just found out it's like a $1 million cigar. Like, okay, yeah, I ain't go that far. My money ain't long like that.
Right. We're gonna stick it into existence.
Right. Like, yeah, for me, it was just learning about the cigars.
It wasn't much on. So, like I said, when I get into something, when I got into cigars, I already did that research. So getting into cigars, I watch videos. I want to see how they're made, go through the whole 9 yards. So I've done that over the years, just from it being, I only want to say hobby, because it's more like lifestyle.
Passion.
Yeah, passion. But so it wasn't so much that, it was more on the business side of figuring out what I got, what I need to do, and what I want to do, and how do I do it, and make sure it's legal, and like the whole vision on everything I want to do. So it was more business than anything. I didn't really have to study too much on the cigar industry. I was already an entrepreneur, but never on the retail side, so I had to learn a lot about that.
Okay. And so, all right, so bringing it back just with your support and stuff like that. I know you said that Campbell is a very supportive community as far as what's here. How much of it, and I know, people say, oh, well, Youngstown is a Campbell, and Campbell is a Youngstown, but we're close.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how much would you say it's kind of like a mimicking of the support in the Youngstown area, or do you see more of the Campbell community coming out?
It's probably 50. I mean, definitely, I'm going to have to say Campbell, because they live right here. So it's nothing to get off work and stop in. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Youngstown, even though we're not far from there, but they make it off work, and they errands is like, oh, I'm running to the family dog. I'm only about to be out 15-20 minutes. If you live in Campbell, stopping by here ain't going to stop that 15-20 minutes that you planned on, being out just for a hot second. So, but Youngstown come in and support a lot. They do. Youngstown come and support a lot. They come in. I would say Youngstown, far as the ones who come and sit more, because it's like a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we going out there. We know we going to sit. We're going to be out here for a while. When Campbell is, oh, I was riding by, so I stopped. I need to smoke on my way to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're riding by already. So, but as far as the atmosphere coming and hanging out and sitting, I would say Youngstown.
So what if you can give, just for the people who are watching, if you can give them kind of like your hours, what your engagement is like on certain days, like when your busiest times are, what things are available here. As far as I know, I see the TVs and hear the conversation in the background. So, just what amenities are available to them when they come in.
So our hours starting on Sunday are 11 to 5. Which the hours is a little, it's funny because one of the things I want to do was always, I never kick a customer out.
Right.
Somebody want to come in and hang out, and it's 5 o'clock, and I close at 5, and then they're hanging out, and they buy cigars, and we, in the conversation, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, all right, time to go. We stay here to whatever. But the actual hours, 11 to 5 on Sunday. Monday is 12 to 8. Closed on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday are both 12 to 8. 12 to 8. And Friday and Saturday, 12 to 11. Which, like I said, always have a crowd. Thursday, and Friday, Saturday is probably the busiest day. All my regulars come in on Thursday. They made this their spot for Thursday night football.
Oh,
so
good.
we get food. I know they coming in. I'll shoot a text out. Everybody do a roll call. They say you're coming in. We order some food. The customers pitch in on the food. And everybody eat. Everybody smoking, play cards, watch the game. So it starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And during the week, most of the time, it's not as many people coming in to sit down during the week. Some do,
Right.
But a lot of people in and out just grabbing sticks to go home or something like that.
So is there because I know you said you sent out a text message. So is there like a type of like membership kind of piece?
We have a membership. Yeah, we do, which is not bad. Our membership is only $200 for the year.
Okay.
A lot of other cigar lounges is like 3 times the amount. You get 10% off your cigars. You get the locker, and we'll have a private room that will be done shortly. So that'll be included as well. But yeah, the atmosphere just, the vibe here is just so relaxing and calming.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
That's what a lot of people say. I've got that compliment so many times. People say, man, you couldn't have picked a better name because it's a vibe. Which
Right.
I honestly, me and one of my friends was talking about it because I got one of my friends in the cigars and took him to, a cigar lounge, and we sat down and had a cigar, and then my word was euphoric, because that's why I got into cigars. Like, no matter what you got going on, when you sit down and you get you a cup of coffee and a cigar, you ain't thinking about none of your worries and your problems. You enjoying that cigar, watching maybe what's on TV, you engage in a conversation about everything, or anything. And you never know who you meet in the cigar. You got doctors in here sitting next to lawyers. You could be a janitor. It don't matter what. But well, one thing you got in common is you love cigars. And next thing you know, you're talking about I'm a trucker. I'm a truck driver. And I've been sitting in here with lawyers, doctors and stuff like that, and I'm telling them about my industry. They're telling me about theirs. We talking about world issues. It's just a vibe.
Yeah, one thing I can say, like being in the cigar world, is you don't see color. I have noticed that with cigars, like it's a whole different, I guess, like communication. Just as soon as they find out you smoke a cigar or you like cigars, because it's no color in it at all. Like, and I was, and I was amazed to see that, because walking outside, you see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you at, you see it. The black and white thing, of course. But when you're in a cigar lounge, it's not there. It's just not. And that's amazing.
So on the business side of things, because you all did this together, you all did this as an African couple in a urban, I guess we could call urban community out here. So how much would you say, do you think it would have been harder to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, like if you try to do it as a single female, or if you try to do it as a single male? Do you think that your partnership kind of gave you an advantage a little bit on how fast you got started, or how you were accepted? Because a lot of times in business, when they see a couple,
right,
You know, they're more engaged in saying, okay, well, you know, these are two people coming together trying to do something than they are
Right.
when people try to do things.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think us being a couple, yeah, helped a lot. I think it would have been different, me personally, if I would have tried this on my own. Yeah, I think it would have been a complete different outcome.
Yeah, I agree. That's with anything. I mean, if you loading groceries in the car, everybody else sells, it's going to take longer. It's going to be harder. You know, it's with anything. You have somebody behind you or somebody next to you helping you, then you can get things done a lot easier and faster. Makes everything smoother.
Okay. And then going back to the support, because I know a lot of people that even if they're not watching now, that are going to watch because they know the kind of platform and stuff that this is. And we have the next time business incubator. We have those different incubators and stuff like that. And I'm kind of discouraged to hear that these organizations didn't come alongside you all and kind of help with that. And that's a huge
Well,
a huge issue.
Well, I will
we
say,
kept it hush hush
yeah,
too.
just-
Like
yeah.
we didn't want nobody to step on our toes
Right.
while we was trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? So we did keep it hush. It ain't like we was out there asking people,
Right.
can you help us? So if we were, maybe we would have got it, but we didn't want nobody taking our idea and getting it done faster than us. You know, so we really went and
Yeah,
it
so,
was
yeah.
kept between pretty much me and him.
When we decided to do it, it wasn't nobody knew.
Mhm.
It was, I knew, she knew, and I was working behind the scenes and working on stuff. And I started disappearing from my friends that I hung out with more often and stuff. And where you been? I'm working on it. But other than that, nobody really knew what was going on until
It was
until
we got it.
And do you think that's and just for someone that might be watching that might not want to open up a cigar lounge, but just open up a business in this area? Because I know we can get a lot of pushback and
Right.
things and stuff like that. Because I know when I was talking to city officials about things that I wanted to do, is it a residential area or is it commercial area or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of that stuff.
It's kind of
red tape.
discouraging.
Yeah, it's
Like,
kind of discouraging. So
Mhm.
would you say that it's better to kind of like keep it under wraps and kind of try to do it as much as you can on your own than it would be to like seek out? And I get what you're saying about somebody stealing your idea, because a lot of times in competition and stuff like that, people do that.
Right.
Somebody might find out what you want to do. They might have a little bit more
Money or
finance,
time. Right.
and stuff like that, and then come out and do it. But I will say, I can tell with you all's the atmosphere here and how everything is set up. I can tell that it's deeper than just a business. It's deeper than just. I can see your passion through how everything is set up, even how the cigar space is set up and how everything is organized and stuff like that. It's really a professional setting. It's really not something that you would see, if somebody just popped up and opened a business and had no idea what
They were doing right.
really not that. So would you say, to that person that's thinking about, doing something like this to kind of keep it under wraps until they're
Until they know they got their foot in the door, I would recommend that. Like after you do your research and you got your business plan, until you know for sure the organization or banking is backing you, and you got it, I wouldn't, because you just never know. I mean, you really, really don't. Like somebody take your idea and run with it, or discourage you
right.
from moving ahead with your idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you already got everything together and now you got the financial part backing you, then there's no way for you to get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? But if you do all that before then, somebody can discourage you, and then it's like you did it for nothing.
Right.
Or it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or now somebody else then took what you wanted to do and did it for themselves.
Anything to add?
I mean, the way I did it, I did it because of the industry. It's an industry. There is, there is competition in the industry. It wasn't that much, but if you look, like, it was 3 cigar lounges that opened up. Boom, boom, boom.
After you all did?
No, two right after I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
Within
weeks.
2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
2 more opened up.
In this area? Or?
Yeah.
One in Struthers.
One company, yeah. And the guys at Struggle, I'm good friends. They come up here, they support me. They come and sit down and we smoke and talk. We're actually going to be doing some events together. I don't really know the guys in Hubbard that well. But, one of the owners came in here and we sat down and talked. But I haven't had a chance to make it up to the spot yet, which I want to do that. Because, I mean, like I said, it is a community. We are competition, but it's still a community. So it's you're on that line. But, I mean, it depends on the industry you're in. Because I probably could have got more help and made it easier process had I reached out to different organizations and told people what I was going to do. The discouragement really don't bother me that much because when I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it. So discouragement, I wasn't really worried about that, and I probably could have got a lot more help, and maybe financial help and things like that too. But I don't know. You just gotta do your research, know the industry you're going into, and use discretion.
Okay.
But, we also sell refreshments. Like we sell coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I do hear a lot. Like, man, y'all got real good coffee. So.
I'm in cigars, and my favorite thing to pair the cigars with is coffee.
Oh, okay.
And then
Coffee and bourbon, you said?
Coffee, and then maybe coffee and bourbon. I like them both, but mostly coffee with my cigars. So I'm really heavy into the coffee, so I want to make sure I have excellent coffee. So we do have a wide range of coffee, espresso lattes, cappuccino, mochas.
Yeah.
And now I just added iced coffee to the menu as well.
So how do you
all week trying to perfect it.
So how do you market? How do you promote to the things that you're doing? Because I know I heard a few weeks ago that y'all had like some type of open house or something, or some type of
we had
an event.
Yeah, we even had a couple events. Yeah, had a live band.
Okay.
And then we also had an event. A cigar rep came in here to we purchased cigars, and then he explained all the flavor notes of his cigars and stuff like that. So we had that event, and then we had another event as well back in what was that, August? We was outside. The girl from Dope, since she was opening up her winery, right? She came up and did tastings.
Okay.
Yeah, she came up and did tastings. We have food trucks out there. That was real nice. But we mainly advertise on social media and word of mouth, like our regulars that come in, because what's the next thing? So soon as we tell the regulars too, oh, okay, I'm gonna let people know, like, yeah.
And y'all hours are operating. I know we went over it, but when you're open, are you open like to the public, or is it just your membership?
No, we're open to the public.
So you don't have to have membership come in. I do got a sign outside, which I'm going to enlarge, because that's one thing about the industry, cigar etiquette. So something I've never done is go to a cigar lounge and not purchase a cigar or two or something like that. And people that, real smokers, they get it. People that's getting into it and it's new, sometimes you got to explain it to them. But, that's how the house makes their money.
Right.
We sell, I don't want to get into, now we sell some accessories and things like that, lighters and cutters and things like that. And I really want to get into doing too much because this is a cigar lounge. And the idea was for people to come in, buy cigars, sit down, have a good time. It's BYOB. So, I don't want a liquor license. People keep asking me about that. Well, can you? No, I don't want a liquor license.
Right.
It's a certain different kind of crowd that comes in here and they enjoy cigars. Now, they will bring their own bourbon and things like that. That's what the lockers come into place.
Right.
Okay.
So the members, they get a locker. And I got the bigger lockers on purpose, so nobody wants to lay down a bottle of bourbon.
Right.
Pay all this money for a nice bottle of bourbon. Sit it in there. And we provide the glasses, wine glasses, ice, the whole deal. So they come in, buy some cigars, and bring a bottle, and that's all you need.
So if somebody is interested in becoming a member, what do they need to do? Just stop in?
Yeah, just stop in. I mean, yeah, they could definitely call. That's not an issue, but I can't take a payment over the phone.
Right.
And you can't get your keys over the phone. So, yeah, stopping in. Mm-hmm. And we'll get you a locker.
And you said that was $200 for
The calendar year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
a year from the time that they
the date of you purchase. So if you purchased on today is the 22nd, you go to next year the 22nd. It's not going to stop January 1st. Like it's calendar year based on the date you pay.
There's a reason that the membership is priced the way it is because it's a lot cheaper than everybody else's. I'm not into the whole 24-hour access thing that some cigar lounges are doing. It's a good idea and it works for some people. It's just not something I want to get into. But I figure, I want to just get regular customers. I want to get people there. So the $200 for the locker and for the membership, and you get 10% off on your cigars. So if you think about it, you come in, you purchase enough cigars, over the year you will get your $200 back.
Right.
So I sold you some cigars, made some money. You paid $200 up front, and then you end up getting it back by the end of the year. It's a wash. So I got people in here, nice crowd, good people in here smoking cigars. So it's totally a wash. Now, I will say that membership may go up because the private room that I'm doing, I'm gonna lay it out, and it's gonna be just for members only. So they'll have the room will be locked, and the members only have a key to that room as well. And I plan on laying it out really nice. So because of that and the different things I'm gonna do for the members, the membership may go up. But I love cigars, and I love being able to walk into a lounge, purchase some cigars, sit down, and enjoy myself. And I never became a member anywhere because I don't feel like, because I love cigars, that should be an extra bill per month. We got bills to pay. I don't want nobody to have to pay me a bill, which is nice, and it would make my shop more money, but I didn't really get into this one.
Right.
Like I said, I already had a business, and that's where I make my money from and provide a good living for my family. This was more really for passion.
Nice. So you all heard that. So you do not have to be a member to actually come in and open to the public and enjoy the lounge. It's already, he was talking about, the private room for the membership, but just the regular space is very professional. It's very relaxing. After the interview, I'm going to go and do a little tour, do a little live tour of everything that you can see in here. But if you're interested in membership, like I said, just make sure you stop in. Even if you're not interested in membership and you just want to come and enjoy the vibes here at Cigar Vibes, then make sure you come to 355 Robinson Road, Campbell House, or Campbell. All right, do y'all have any last sentiments that y'all want to leave with it?
Well, I'll add to what he was saying as far as like the 24-hour thing. Because no, we're not going there, but that's also a reason why like people like our environment and our vibe, because we do talk to our customers. You know what I'm saying? We engage in conversation with them. And if it's 24 hours, we can't be here 24 hours. And it wouldn't be that vibe anymore. Now it's just like going there and smoke. Like, we don't want that. We want the good vibes. When you leave out of here, we want you to feel good when you leave. So, wanted to just touch on that.
Yeah, I'll just go back to, like I said, you don't have to pay a membership fee.
Hello, how you doing?
To come in and enjoy the space. You just come in, make a purchase, and then you can enjoy the space. You don't have to pay a fee to come in. Or some places around the country, everywhere, where you have to pay, even to come in, you got to pay $5 to use a lounge, whether you buy a cigar or not.
Right.
Us, you come in, you buy a cigar. It's a cigar lounge.
Right. We're going to keep reiterating. Yeah. It's a cigar lounge, so you got to buy a cigar.
Right.
But everybody is welcome. White or black, it don't matter. If you love cigars and you want a nice environment, want to sit down and enjoy yourself and have a great conversation, Come
You want
check
to
it
get
out.
into cigars, even if you never smoked one, we'll get you right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of new people that come in.
Okay.
And we
You're right.
taught how to, smoke and things like that.
Okay. So you can get the education on cigars. You can come in and learn about cigars. If you don't know that much about cigars, don't feel hesitant. Don't let them stop you from coming in, because they are here to help you. They're here to serve you. They have amenities like TVs, the games and stuff like that. You can BYOB, bring in your own bottles and just come out and vibe out at cigar vibes.
Right.
And we are open to private parties and things like that too.
Yes.
Open to
We
private
rent
parties.
for private parties and things like that as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I enjoyed this conversation with you all. Like I said, after the interview is over, I'm going to do a live tour so you all can see what's going on in here and what you can get from Cigar Vibes when you stop in. So thank everybody for tuning in. This episode will be available on the Unheralded Entrepreneurs YouTube page, and it will be on both Cigar Vibes Facebook page and my personal page, the Coming to Call. So thank everybody for joining us, and bye bye.
That was good. Thank you.
It
I
was.
really appreciate you putting us on the spotlight.
Yeah, no problem.
What's going on? How you feeling?